Hello and welcome to the Intune Suite Tech Accelerator session on remote help. I'm Dave Randall, a Senior Product Manager with Microsoft Intune, and I'm joined by one of my colleagues for this session.
Hi everyone, my name is Kara Wong. I'm a Product Manager in Microsoft Intune, and we're here today to talk to you about Windows Remote Help. Remote Help is one of the many Microsoft Advanced Endpoint Management solutions that are part of the Microsoft Intune Suite. In one simple bundle, the new Intune Suite simplifies customers' endpoint management experiences, improves security posture, and keeps people at the center of exceptional user experience. Since the COVID-19 pandemic, the number of remote workers have skyrocketed with companies' new flexible work-from-home policies. McKinsey's American Opportunity Survey found that when employees have the opportunity to work flexible, 87% of them choose to, across different demographics, occupations, and geographies. With changing working habits, more than ever, helping your workers overcome technical barriers is mission critical. A remote assistance solution is required to support workers anywhere, improve efficiencies in enabling help desk response to service issues, and mitigating security risks to fortify your zero trust architecture. So now let's take a look at Windows Remote Help and what it offers. With Windows Remote Help, an organization's help desk is able to connect via a secure, cloud-based solution to users no matter where they're located on all Windows devices, whether that's enrolled or unenrolled devices. With role-based access control, admin can configure different tiers of help desk support with different permissions on who they can help, and whether that's a view only, full control, and having the ability to run elevated permissions during a session. Granular control over any geography, department, and responsibility makes creating tiered services roles easier and more efficient for admin. When needed, a helper with RBAC permissions for elevation can interact with the UAC prompt to resolve an issue that requires admin permissions. By showing the Azure Active Directory profile pictures, company names, titles, and verified domain for both party up front, Remote Help creates trust on both sides of the equation. Before connecting to a user's device, the helper will see a non-compliance warning about that device and can learn more about why that device is non-compliant. With these requirements, Help Desk can resolve issues for users quickly and securely. Beyond the core capability and requirements we have shipped for Remote Help, we have been working hard to bring you a new set of feature updates, as well as sharing with you a roadmap feature that we are currently working on. Since Remote Help became generally available, admin now has the ability to disable the chat function in the Remote Help app in the new tenant level setting. So before a helper connects to a session, a non-compliance warning notification alerts the helper with an additional link that allows the helper to learn more about why a device is non-compliant in Intune and prevent things like credential theft. Help desk agents can now annotate in the session using a laser pointer to help direct the user's attention to any relevant area on their device. In addition to remote help session reports, we've added audit logs for remote help sessions created in Intune so that admin can reference past events for troubleshooting and analyzing log activities. On to the roadmap for features that we've been working on. We have a full featured chat that removes the need for a live person-to-person call between help desk and users during the session by supporting instant and a continuous thread of conversation. With conditional access, admin can create policies, for example, that require strong authentication using MFA that limits access to specific users in a geographical location. Another feature we're working on is the ability for helpers to copy and paste text and files directly to and from the sharer's device, and this can help resolve an issue quickly, for example, if you need to run a command or script locally. We're also introducing a feature that launches Remote Help seamlessly from Intune and sends a notification to the sharer's device that allows the help desk and the sharer to be connected in a session without entering session codes. So other features we're working on is the ability for the helper to hear the share's audio and switch from view only to full control in a connected session, as well as remote help sessions that do not require the user to be present. Now I'm going to be walking through a fairly common user help desk scenario for an upcoming remote help demo. So Adele is a user that's working from home for Kotoso who is having issues with Windows Media Player. Megan is the help desk person who needs to help Adele get up and running quickly. What you'll see in the upcoming demo is that Megan will securely control Adele's device using remote help. She will get a warning that Adele's device is non-compliant. She will then help reinstall Windows Media Player by copying a script from her device and running it on Adele's device using her local admin credentials.
Remote help allows your help desk to have secure access to devices in your organization, no matter where they are. Since launch, we've continued to enhance the experience on Windows to help you continue to reduce your time to mitigation, and in this demo, we will show you some of the new and upcoming features we're excited about. In this scenario, Adele works for Kotoso and is having issues where she wants to use the new media player on her Windows device, but she can't find it. She called the help desk, and Megan determines that she needs to remote control her device to help troubleshoot. Both Megan and Adele launched the remote help application on their devices and sign in. To ensure that Megan is who she says she is and prevent an attacker from using her credentials to view and access devices in her org, Kotoso has created a conditional access policy that requires strong authentication and multi-factor authentication to use remote help. As Megan signs into remote help, she's prompted to approve the request in her Authenticator app, which allows her access to the remote help app. Megan generates a security code and provides it to Adele. Adele enters the security code and hits submit. Megan now sees information about Adele, such as her name, profile picture, job title, and verified domain. She selects full control. Adele then sees similar information about Megan and that she would like full control of her device, and so she clicks allow. When the session begins, Megan receives a message that Adele's device is not compliant with security policies. This is helpful so Megan can make a more informed security decision about whether she should access the device or send it to her security team for further assistance. She feels safe proceeding in this particular case and starts to troubleshoot the media player issue. Megan determines that media player needs to be reinstalled and very conveniently has a script that'll do just that. So she's going to copy it from her desktop into Adele's desktop, without needing to map any drives or enter alternate credentials on things like OneDrive or SharePoint. Megan has local admin rights on Adele's device, and so she's going to launch PowerShell as admin so that she can run the script. So first she's going to click the elevation button at the top to interact with the UAC prompt, and then open PowerShell as admin. Then she needs to enter her alternate credentials. And now PowerShell is open. Next, she runs the script to reinstall Media Player. After it's successfully installed, Megan launches Media Player from the Start menu. And is able to use the new laser pointer that we have to show Adele some tips. So as you can see, she can circle things and point and really make it easy for Adele to understand the application. Both Megan and Adele are happy with how easy it was to connect using remote help and get productive quickly, while Kotoso is happy that they were able to maintain strong zero trust security concept seamlessly along the way. Remote help is available for you to try and purchase today, and you can find out more information at aka.ms remote help docs and get started improving your help desk experience in just a few steps.
So now we're going to be diving deeper onto the features shipping for remote help. With threaded chat, the enhancement in chat functionality allows the helper and the share to have a continuous thread of conversation. Further enhancements include the ability to download or copy the chat and a record of the timestamps for messages sent. This removes the need for a live person-to-person call between the help desk agent and user during the session, with the same ability to disable chat from a tenant-wide setting in Microsoft Intune. Introducing the ability for helpers to copy text and files to and from the sharer's device. Helpers can resolve any technical issues quickly. For example, if they need, they can now upload executable files directly onto the sharer's device. Copying, pasting text, and file transfer will be added separately as an RBAC permissions, in which admin can grant different tier help desk permissions for this feature. So remote launch onto the sharer's device enhances remote help by streamlining the connection process and directly inviting the sharer to a remote help session, which reduces time to mitigation. To engage in this feature, the helper first navigates to the sharer's device they're trying to troubleshoot in Intune. The helper then clicks on New Remote Assistance Session and starts the remote help session. Onto the sharer's device, they'll receive a notification alerting them that the help desk person is requesting a remote session. They can either allow or decline to request in the remote help app. On the helper's device in Intune, after the notification is sent to the user's device and they accept, they then launch remote help on their own device. After the sharer launches and signs into the remote help app, the helper sees the sharer's information, including their profile picture, their job title, company name, to make sure they're really helping the right person. The help desk agent selects either view screen or full control in the session. The sharer then clicks on Accept the screen share session on their device, and the helper and sharer are now in a connected session. The seamless launching of remote help on the sharer's device and the removal of exchanging security codes allows the users to get connected in a session quickly and securely. So now I'm going to be handing it off to Dave, who's going to be talking about the integration with ServiceNow.
Thanks so much for handing it over, Kara. Great job with all of the remote help new features that are coming. I know our customers are going to be really excited. So let's switch over to our integration with ServiceNow. First off, I'm going to start with the goal of our ServiceNow integration. Of course, ServiceNow is a big product, lots of different capabilities, but for this integration, we're focused on really providing help desk with additional contextual information that assists with debugging or troubleshooting employee issues. So a lot of different possible things, but we're going to focus on really helping our support agents do the best job possible. The capabilities that are part of this integration start with the ability to connect Intune to a ServiceNow instance for ITSM. We'll get to a little bit of the requirements in a moment. But the second set of capabilities is to retrieve a list of incidents that are associated with a caller or employee. And this is where your support agents are going to spend most of their time, viewing the list of incidents that are associated with a caller. We also provide the ability to view key incident metadata within the Intune console. So you have additional information that helps your support agents understand the priority, urgency, or other key details about that incident in the Intune console. And then lastly, we also have a link out to the source incident that are shown in the Intune console directly in ServiceNow. So if the relevant information isn't available in Intune, you'll be able to see it directly in ServiceNow. A couple of key requirements. First off, you need an Intune subscription. You'll also need either the Remote Help add-on or the Intune suite. Both of those support the ServiceNow integration. And then, of course, you're going to need the ServiceNow ITSM module in your organization. A few additional capabilities that are part of the integration. First off, the ServiceNow connector has an activity indicator. That shows you the last time that a successful query was made between Intune and ServiceNow. So in case you're interested in understanding whether or not there's a problem with your connection to ServiceNow, it's an easy way to identify when the last connection was made. For credentials, we have on-demand credential validation. So what that means is that as your IT administrators or your support desk people are integrating with Intune and ServiceNow, you'll be able to ensure that they can use their Azure Active Directory credentials to log into Intune and use those same credentials through our SSO support in ServiceNow. More importantly, we support all of the ServiceNow roles for doing incident queries. So if you have a support agent who has the ITIL role assigned to them in ServiceNow, they'll be able to view the incidents through this integration. But if you have support agents that don't have the ITIL role or don't have specific permissions for key people in your organization, they won't be able to see those incidents. So we support the full ServiceNow role-based access control for all the incident queries that we're performing. Let's take a moment and see what this looks like in action. Here we are in the tenant administration page, and we're looking at tenant status. In order to get to the connector for ServiceNow, I'm going to select connectors and tokens. And then I'm going to scroll down in the list here to the ServiceNow connector. I've already made a connection with my ServiceNow instance, so we can see that the connection status is on, and we can see our last connection date and time. Let's look at some of the properties that are associated with the ServiceNow connector. First, we have a toggle. You'll need to turn that on to start exchanging data with your ServiceNow instance, and you'll need to provide 3 key pieces of information. The first is the ServiceNow instance host. This is the URL to your ServiceNow instance. The second is the incident API URL. This is probably going to be the same for most customers. It'll be under API now table incident, but in case you've customized your ServiceNow, you'll be able to put in the specific incident table for your instance. And lastly is the app ID. This is an app ID that was created in ServiceNow and copied and pasted into the ServiceNow connector, so Intune knows how to make an authenticated and authorized connection to your ServiceNow instance. I can click Test Connection, and you'll notice it'll prompt me based on my credentials to allow this connection to ServiceNow, and this is ServiceNow verifying me. I'll choose Allow, and we'll see that we get a successful connection. We do also notice that Microsoft recommends your access token expiration time be set to 15 minutes. In this case, because it's my test environment, it's set for longer than 15 minutes. Now that we've successfully created our connector, let's see how the integration works in the troubleshooting blade. So here we are in the troubleshooting blade, and the first thing that I need to do is select a user. Now we're going to go ahead and choose Adele. That's the person that we were helping with remote help. And in troubleshooting, we'll bring up the information relative to Adele, including maybe some compliance information or applications that were deployed to her. But in order to help understand what may be troubling Adele, I'm going to go look at the ServiceNow incidents that are associated with her. We'll again provide our authentication and allow ServiceNow to show information for us. And here's our list of incidents that are associated with Adele. Now you notice we've got a couple of different fields here. We've got a description, the incident number, some classifications of the importance of the issue, its current status, who the caller is, an assignment group, and the date and timestamp of when it was added. Now, one thing I can do to give myself a little bit more room, I can turn off a couple of these fields, and then I can size my window out so that I can see all of the descriptions here. So it looks like Adele's been having problems with email, lots of problems with email. So clearly not related to the sound issues that Adele's been having. So at this point, I can take advantage of the features that Kara showed, and we can set up a remote session to help Adele. If I needed to get more details, I mentioned that you can launch the incident view from ServiceNow. So just clicking the link allows me to pull up Adele's incident. I can look through all of the details that were associated with it, if that was relevant for my particular scenario. That's the end of our demonstration of the integration with ServiceNow. Thanks for joining us on this Intune Tech Accelerator session.
For more information, please check out our latest blog posts on remote help. Thanks again.